Hello everyone, can you guys hear me here? Just want to make sure. Someone write in the chat if there is anyone. Or I will stop a little bit, I will pause. First time doing this, so forgive me if there are some technical issues. Just want to make sure with my teammates that everyone can hear me. Okay, amazing. So I have confirmation from my peers that everything is working. So I'm gonna start for the first time this initiative that is really about streaming things and teaching you things about Lens Studio and Spectacles. So I hope you find this valuable. We're gonna be on this for a while, so get ready for stick to this for a little bit. Let me see if I can keep the chat just like constantly on, because I feel like sometimes it just goes out. Okay, let me see if I can put it on the side so I can type. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so today we're gonna take a look at vibe coding and using Lens Studio. Using Lens Studio with AI, we really know that things are changing. Things are changing really fast. So we are always super curious here at Snap. And today we're going to go through a workflow which might surprise you how advanced it is, which is the one of team management with agents. I bet you used Cloud Code before. Cloud Code is probably, or I would say, between developers especially, very, very used. And I just want to make sure that you guys, I'm not making any recommendation for using products here, of course, besides Spectacles and Lens Studio, but you know, these are reality of the everyday life. So we're gonna just like bring it up, then you make your choices for whatever you want to use. Hello everyone, hello. Great, the chat works. We have confirmation that we are connected. Sorry, but once again, I'm saying this is the first time I'm doing this, so just want to make sure that I get stopped like in half of what I'm doing and I will never know. All right, so yeah, what I want to do today is I would say that the end goal of this live stream is really making you comfortable in building things with Lens Studio and Spectacles using AI. In a way that maybe you didn't experience before, or in a way that it maybe can inform you for your next project. And using Cloud Code and using, of course, Lens Studio, and then deploying on Spectacles, and then I will tell you all of the ideas that I have for this live stream. I have some ideas in mind. It's kind of a little bit vague. I would probably make a lot of mistakes, so get ready to debug with me in this live stream. But I also wanted to keep it very natural. So I didn't want to, cheat and just do it ahead of time and giving you like that kind of static content. I really wanted to have this time nothing that can prevent me to make mistakes. So let's do it together. And I would say the best way to start with this, and I will also go through, also the basics of Lens Studio and everything, but I wanted to show you this. So it says orchestrate teams of Cloud Code session. You won't believe it, but today we are able to code in a way that put us at the center of a team as the leader of this developer team, and make us choose who works on what, and really put us at the center of our project and desires as a director. I think this is a mind shift that you want to have when you are approaching projects today, because it's really the way to work, and you just start from that threshold, and then you can just go higher and higher and higher. So I will show you a little bit the way I would approach it, and then we will just even discuss in the chat. So here, look at this. So we have teams of Cloud Code session, which, to make it long story short for you, meaning that you are setting up the terminal with a preview that allows you to see multiple agents working at the same time, which is very cool because it splits automatically the terminal and shows you stuff. And if you're scared about terminals, please don't be, because today, literally, we're coding very little today. We're just talking to the AI. So please don't think that we're gonna go so technical here. It's more about the way you think. So please put it in your mind. Here is like this new experimental workflow, which Claude with Anthropic put out very recently, and is the agent teams. So look at this. Now, this is like enabling agent teams. I see that they also have like the copy page button, so I'm pretty sure that I won't need to do anything to set this up. And then we're gonna play with Lens Studio. Just always seeing that everything goes right because I have my working computer at the side. We're gonna work with Lens Studio and see how these two things come together, right? Because usually AI is very good delivering code which is very encapsulated in just one file, and you just like see this file, ChatGPT, Claude, you just like preview it. It's usually a web view and so on and so on. But here we're building augmented reality apps, so it's a different beast, but we can tackle it in the same way. So here we're gonna do this first. We're gonna create a plan. So this is gonna be step one. Okay, it's gonna be creating a plan of whatever we want to do. This is going to be the most important part because it's really the biggest contribute that we need to put out to create the project. So I'm not gonna start with Cloud Code yet. I'm gonna actually start with Cursor, and I'm gonna open literally an empty folder here. Let me take a look that everything is set. So let's really start from scratch. So I'm gonna make like folder, and I'm gonna call it project stream spectacles, and then I'm gonna open it with Cursor. So I'm gonna open folder, there you go. I'm gonna open it here, and we're gonna have our UI, and it's gonna be completely empty, and all we need to do for now is creating two things, which is one plan. And then we're gonna reference something quite special we put together, which is a context folder, which allow us to have a lot of understanding of all of these frameworks for spectacles. So we're building. It's gonna be like a sort of like a pre-project phase, right? We're gonna build the basis for our success. This is pretty much a very different approach that I would have like some years ago, where I would say, okay, like let me just go in and just like code and just do stuff. Now instead is more about thinking long term, thinking about the architecture of the project that you want to have, and then eventually just really providing all of the resources to whoever is going to work for you and do that project. So just mind shifting, okay? Just think about different things. Like you're the director today. You're no longer making just the details of your project. You can do it later. You can always debug. There is always time to debug and mess things up. But now we are the director. So let's be imaginative and let's have a lot of creativity. So in this case, as I mentioned, let's put the terminal also here. The first thing I want to do beside the plan is creating a context folder. So the context folder, guess what? We have actually something called context, and we can find it at this page. And you can go in our organization, which is a pretty recent change. So you will see if you go in this page. Also, this is a chance for me to show you all our good resources, right? So here, if you go on this page, which is called Specs Devs, is a new organization we put together where we centralize all of the developer resources. This is super helpful for developers to get less confused, but also is super helpful for AI, because AI is going to be able to take everything and just put it together and just make connection across all of our resources. So if we just click on repositories, we go in here and we go into this context folder. This context folder is a very curated collection of resources for document, frameworks, packages, rules, and samples. And if you wonder what are frameworks are the most important packages. So interaction kit, sync kit, spectacle UI kit, and all of those things that are core to your development journey. So let's go here. And let's make sure that LFS is installed, because usually this thing could have like mega files. and then we just clone it in there. So git clone, and then paste, and then we clone this thing. Let's make sure that everything's going on here. I didn't hear anything from my team, so it seems like things are still working. Excuse me, my coffee at 4:15 p.m. But this stream might go a little longer. So you notice that here we have a context folder. There you go. This is done, took nothing, and this is going to be your main resource of knowledge. Now, if you work with Cursor, and we will just work a little bit now with it. I'm gonna use Cursor and Cloud Code just to give you everything, really everything we have. We're just gonna give you all of the resources, all of the way to do things. And please write in the chat if you know something to do better, if you know a better way to do it, or you want to discuss it. I'm here and I'm really seeing the chat, so please feel free to interact. If you go on Cursor settings, you will see that we have this space called indexing and docs. So this is very instrumental, because whenever you add folders inside of your workspace, these files are all indexed. That means that the AI will be able to access to your files a lot faster. And the cool thing is that you don't need to also have just a static content in there. So I'm gonna go a little closer. You don't just need to have like static content in there. You also can have content from, oh, very noisy outside. I hope you guys don't hear this. You can also have content that comes from, let's go, it comes from our documentation. So now let me go in here and let's go in our full API list. And then you can just like copy this guy and just put it in docs. And there you go. Now we are indexing all our list of APIs. So now we don't have only the context static knowledge, but we also have our Lens Studio API documentation. Can you imagine how much context you just provided to the AI just with this simple move, right? So now we're gonna go in here, and I'm gonna literally do probably a quite long prompt, because I'm gonna just put down all of the ideas I have for this project. So let's make sure that the AI really understand what we're trying to do here. I think we are on Opus. There you go. Yeah, I like to keep it. It's especially the first time. I like to go max mode. Oh, there I can't afford. So let me just go. Let me just go with the normal one, and then I think for the plan it's actually okay. And then when we get like the plan all together, we're gonna go in Cloud Code where we have a max subscription. So there's gonna be no problem. So what I want to do today. Today I want to do. Oh, let me actually. Let me actually do something else. Let me go on Lens Studio first. You see, guys, when everything is live, you're gonna double think about everything. So I'm gonna go on the latest Lens Studio for spectacles, and then I'm gonna go actually to start from a project which is gonna help us a lot, which is the Snap Cloud project. And I'll tell you in a second what I have in mind. I wanted to make like a lens that feels something that can involve everyone here in the streaming. And I think it's just a very good template for letting you understand what could be some experiences and some application in the future, which cross-platform, not just the glasses, the augmented reality glasses, but also any other device or web service. So this time I'll try to create a web service with Snap Cloud or Supabase plugin. And with this plugin, you will be able to receive a link, do something with that link, and that link will let you, for example, instantiate object, and I will be able to see it from the point of view of my AR glasses. So this is a little bit what I'm trying to do here, which is just a basic project for something that could come later. For example, you are texting things and I can see them, or you can do other things. And so you will be seeing my real-time streaming from the camera of spectacles. And you will be able to see what I do, and you will be able to press some buttons and instantiate object in the space. And then that's just a start. That could be a lot more. Let's see how long it's going to take. But you know, that's the goal that I'm setting, the bar that I'm setting now for just getting started and creating a prototype. So For now, I'm just gonna save this project, and I'm just gonna save it in my project stream spectacles. I'm gonna call it let's call it online shared experience. Online shared experience. All right, so we have it. And let's listen to this guideline here. It says Snap Cloud requirement is not configured, and we will need to configure the Snap Cloud. And since this stream is also about Lens Studio, let me just take a second and explain how to use the editor. The editor is composed on very few elements. There is going to be the preview, which is really like a real-time simulation of what you're trying to build. And you have also different way to visualize your lens. You will have different previews. In this case, of course, we are on the spectacles side of things, so you will see things like you are wearing spectacles with a perfect simulation of the field of view. Then here we have the scene hierarchy, which is a list of all of the things that are going to be in your app, in your lens. And then here we have a project directory, basically. This part of the project directory is kind of like accessible. So there is our assets that you can just like literally see, you can open, you can do all of these things. Instead, this other part here is a part that is usually not accessible, and it's very good practice to not unpack these packages and just reference it on imported and scripted are actually here. Actually, my biggest recommendation here is that whenever you want to do exactly the same thing that is here and you're aware that is actually in here, my recommendation is literally making a copy and just put a suffix after that says modified and just keep it in your asset. But in this case, what Lens Studio is asking us to do is to go on the Supabase plugin, log in, and this will launch a web page that will let me log in. Let me make sure that this is launched. And then when we're there, we will need to import my credential. Credentials are sensitive, so these are tokens. I'm not gonna click on that, and if that happens, I'm just gonna change it after this tutorial. Hello off mass. Okay. I love the chat. I love that there are people just like texting you like that. So the first thing you want to do here is literally drag and drop this Supabase project on the Snap Cloud requirements. When you do this, all of these project and example will start work in a second, and then that warning will go away. So this Snap Cloud project is so like a series of examples for you to understand how to use Supabase and Lens Studio. Supabase is a very powerful backend. It's very popular lately. Is very much used in a lot of web services. A lot of companies really take advantage of that. So we're going to use it too. And we have a lot of examples for Snap Cloud and a lot of tutorials also if you're interested to go more into the details. Let's see if everything goes all right. Just making sure. All right. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so now we saved our project. We got the context. It's actually time to prompt engineering. So we're going to have our nice prompt that is going to give us it's going to give us like a initial draft of what we want to do. So even for the people that just joined now, we are in the moment now that we are like planning everything. So today we're going to be the director of our lens company, and we're going to just make our web service and our lens on spectacles. So that's the very ambitious plan for doing this streaming. So okay, let's see. I would start saying I have this idea in mind. I want to create a lens that allows me to stream my content on a web service using Snap Cloud, which is a plugin for Lens Studio from Supabase. This project will be formed in the following way. We will have a Lens Studio project which I already set up here. So there you go. You can just reference things like this, which I already set up here. And then we will have a web service that I will deploy after testing locally. Please create it in a new folder called web service and create it as root. Okay, and then you see, like, I want to just also mention one thing, that I'm trying to be very specific when I ask things and I'm prompting. And especially if you are aware of the ecosystem, that I know that you don't, you know, it's not the same thing for me because I'm biased. Of course, I work here, so I know a lot of all of the where to look for things. But I feel like after you start developing with Spectacles, that's just a natural reflex that you build up, right? You really start to build up all these reflexes. Oh, I need probably part of that project, part of this project, part of this project. And the AI really start to connect all of those things very well. So here we have a web service that I will deploy after testing locally. Please create it in a new folder called web service and create it as root of my workspace. This web service will be probably deployed later in time using Vercel, which makes it very easy. Just so you know, there is instrumental knowledge about Lens Studio and Spectacles development in this folder. Okay, then we drag our context. This folder includes a lot of resources like docs, project samples, packages, where you can gather the necessary knowledge to succeed. So I want you to be very careful when you provide informations and always consulting this folder. Then I think another part of this prompt that is very important that we need to say what we want out of this prompt. So actually out of this prompt, I don't want a whole project yet. I just want a plan. I want like a markdown file. I want a document that is going to be able to explain all I want in a very detailed way. For example, you can say, just so you know, the soup base, the project I include here, and you can just reference it again, and this time just reference the asset, for example, includes a lot of examples for SnapCloud, especially for streaming, and that could be something very helpful for what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do here. So let's recap. Let's recap it together. I want you to build a plan MD document that I will then provide to my team of agents. And if you're not familiar with the flow for agents, this is all you need to know as well. Alright, so let's go on the Claude documentation. This is the page that was referencing before for who arrives now. So agent teams. Let me just double check that we are in the right place, because this is the one that has this extension. Yes. And let's copy this page. They don't put it here for nothing. They know we're doing this. And you're going to just copy and paste all of this page. You can also add different things like in this document, in this plan document, when let's go back in here, when specifying how agent needs to work, reminds them that there is the context folder, that we are we don't want to use emoji to use emojis. We don't want to create, this is something that the AI does very often, like create like emojis or create like a lot of like readmes. We don't want to create verbose readmes. And all of the knowledge needs to be based on evidence that usually comes from the context folder. So here we are. So limit yourself to only exclusively build a plan empty document at the root of this workspace. Okay, so I think this is a good start. Quite a long prompt, but needed for really putting down our putting down the basis of our project. So let's just like send this one and let it work. And since usually this takes a while, I doubt it's gonna ask me for some oh, look at this, it's starting a subagent and so on and so on. I doubt it's gonna ask me for permission for doing certain things. Let's see, drink some coffee. There's SnapCloud is streaming, so on and so on. What I want to show you also, I want to show you a little bit some documentation docs. Let's go in here. Let's see. We have let's go in developers. I want to show you something that you might not know. In the Lens Studio section here, let's also keep always an eye on what cursor is doing. But I want to show you in this section for Lens Studio that we actually have a lot of documentation for what I'm doing. Lens Studio AI is something that is being in the work for a while and is increasingly getting better. This one is how you use developer mode. Developer mode is a chat that you get in Lens Studio. When you have here, you can just open Lens Studio AI and have like a chat that comes out like this. You can be a creator, or you can be a developer. The developer will enable the use of MCP. However, because I know that a lot of developers that we work with, they tend to use more an IDE-based workflow. We are just going to go through before cursor, and then we're going to use Cloud Code with this new experimental feature. Yes, you need actually access to Snap Cloud, but I can give you access really anytime. So if you want to share your Snap username here or in Reddit, I will do right away. So yeah, that's like a closed program, but I would say one of the most popular, because it's really easy, it's really foundational to all of your lenses. Really, it's like infinite possibilities. I really like to work with that. Okay, so it's doing the thing. Yeah, I wanted to show you this, which is quite interesting. You can do the same thing I'm doing on different platforms. You can do it on Cursor, you can do it on Visual Studio, you can also do it on Cloud Code. I think we have some documentation which our team wrote. Shout out really to everyone working on this. Of course, it's not just me, we have an amazing team. But these are a lot of documentation that really explains you how to build the right context for success. And it gets very easily outdated because things are changing so quick. But we always try to update more things and also inform you with different formats. So this stream is also for that reason. because things are too fast. Things are going too fast, and there is no time to write them down. Context engineering. Are you familiar with this term, chat? Are you there? Trying to involve you a little bit. Are you familiar? Do you know what this is? If anyone is there? I don't see any answer, so I assume you guys know. But mainly is the way you, yes, please account. Okay, Leo Estrella. Okay, got you. Let me take a screenshot. I'm gonna remember. Context engineering is really like the new way to build things. Generally, the best context you build, the better your project will be, let's say, self-sufficient. And let's understand the difference between self-sufficiency and actually being effective. Self-sufficient means that it's capable of auto-fix itself and understand where things are not correct. And I feel like if you lock that down, you're really like a 90% of, like threshold that is gonna elevate you to be like, okay, making very, very quick modifications to your project, even if it's a very big code base. Let's see. Seems that everything is going all right on the streaming side. Just gonna double check. Yeah. Thanks for retracting the message. I already took the screenshot. Thank you. So I want to say that the context folder approach is usually one of the best, but it can be also something more dynamic. It's also getting better at web search. So honestly, even just pasting at this point, if you have the public version or the internal version of these products, even just pasting the link of a repository does the scraping that I would do if I have some static folders here. I just keep it there because I'm so familiar with this code base that I'm just gonna drag and drop things based on the things I ask. Okay, so we got our plan MD. Let's see if it makes sense. Build a system where spectacle lens streams live video and audio content to a web service via Snap Cloud. The lens capture camera or composite AR channels. The web service receives and renders stream in real time for the browser. Okay, so also what I wanted to add here that I think you didn't add it in the description, I think you forgot some interactive component of this lens. For example, what I want to do is to build a web application where there are buttons on the page, and when everyone that access to the public link, which I will share, they will be able to press that button, and in an object, a prefab will be instantiated in front. So inside spectacles in my lens. Another detail I forgot to mention, never edit the packages folder. These are package dependencies that, by the way, are unpacked and available for you to understand without the need to unpack. Oh, so sorry. Good point. Without the need to unpack. Okay, so I said I think I forgot some interactive component of this lens. For example, what I want to do is building a web application where there are buttons on the page, and when every viewer that access to the public link, which I will share myself, that will be able to press that button and an object prefab will be instantiated in front of me inside of Spectacles, creating like this sort of seamless connection between my lens and your web experience. This is something pretty cool that I think would kind of unlock connection with like a different level of streaming, right? Just imagine if you can contribute to your favorite streaming sessions, not just doing something in the chat, but doing something more spatial. Just imagine if you can, for example, instantiate obstacle, and then your streamer just goes through these obstacles. Or if you just want to share something, instantiating space, like a certain message to reward them. It would be actually, I feel like, kind of a very cool concept, which stems out of something that maybe is very enterprise, which is very remote assistance. So same technology, same thing, different application. I hope it opens your mind in the way we can think about future lenses, future applications that are not just in the screen, but outside of the screen. So this is a way for us to add more details. So I'm gonna just like add that thing. It seems I got most of it. I can see that, mentioned receive base 64 frames, which is part of our API. Talked about the camera service, which is actually a script in the SnapCloud project, so that's great. Then it just links the right context, so we already have that locked down. There's additional context, and there are constraints, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Okay. So here, what I will do next will be sharing this plan with Claude and entering the agent mode with Claude first, making sure it's working. And then I will share this plan with Claude and let Claude create all of the agents. So if you are wondering how you create agents, or you think it's very difficult or things like that, just once again, take a step back and think that all of this knowledge is really language based more than code based. So for example, in Cursor, to create agents, you just need to create a .cursor folder, and then a subfolder that is called agents, a subfolder that is called rules. In fact, if you actually go on the settings, they make it very easy to create, because if you go there, they literally have like a section here where you can just like create new, and it's gonna do for you. So it's gonna be rules to guide agent behavior. Usually rules are the things that are very systematic, so they always apply to something you do. Skills instead are things that are specialized capabilities for a very specific task. And subagents are pretty much like it's the equivalent of just like opening a new chat, but with the difference that is still very much like working together with other chats. So it's kind of like more chats aware of each other. Meanwhile, comments are very repetitive tasks that you're just gonna literally, it's the same thing of when you do like slash and init or something, that like you do like a comment that's just gonna go through and just gonna do things. This is also the same concept, but of course powered with AI, so with that next level understanding. Okay, let's go on the plan again, since I just want to see the first description. Additionally, web has interactive buttons with a view and the problem serving. Press the button and send back through the same real-time challenge. The lens instantiate corresponding prefabbing wares of space. Okay, seems pretty solid. I don't pretend I have the patience to go through all of this document, but I see some stuff that makes sense. And there you go. It gives me like the local host. That is going to be probably our first test, and then I'm going to share that I'm going to share that link with you guys, so that's why I'm doing this. Then it's going to keep things very polished here. I like that. Also remember all of the structure, probably got it from these rules here where we have best practices, so I just picked them out from there, and so on and so on. So it seems like we are pretty solidly set up for our plan. So thank you, Cursor. We are done with you. Close it. Oh, agent is still working. For real? Oh, never mind. Don't mind me. Okay. Let's make it work. Meanwhile, that happens. Let's go on our Claude interface, which is nothing but a shell. So there you go. This is all we need. We're gonna start Claude in this way this time. Let me see, where was that comment? So I'm just gonna do, you know, like even you're probably looking for a comment. You're like, what's that comment? I don't remember. So I'm just gonna Google it and say comment for starting agent team Claude. All right, let's see. What does it say? Give me like some sources. Teammate mode. Yes, this guy. But I think there is also another thing in that comment that use TMUX. So TMUX is the way you multiply panels. So nothing crazy. I just think it's very cool the fact that you can see the agent just splitting and just going their own in their own panel. So it's actually very cool to see visually. I think using iterm2 and tmux. Code like a boss. There you go. I think this is the comment we were looking for. And let's go back in our terminal. I'm gonna cd and not really there, but good guess. Go back. And let's go into our project stream spectacles. Boom. And then we're gonna just like go this way. And let's see what happens. So yeah, I trust this folder. Yeah, always sell your soul, of course. And okay, so one thing we want to do probably is running. This is always a good thing to get started from. I would say, why not? Init gives you a new cloud MD file with all of the cloud-based documentation. It's basically the same thing happens in Cursor when you are indexing everything. And why this is important, because is kind of like a unique point of kind of source for the AI to say, okay, so this is all the content, I'm gonna go here. It's gonna save you a lot of time instead of scanning all of these. Probably there's a lot of work behind that, but instead of scanning all of the files that you have in a folder, this is a way more effective way for you to explain what's going on to the AI. Okay, so it says that understand the project, so I believe it. I want to make sure that it splits up all of the panels. This is an experimental feature. I actually tried it, and for some reason sometimes was not splitting the panels, so I have to restart Cloud Code multiple times. I'm not sure why, but yeah, that might happen. All right, let's keep it here handy, because I'm probably gonna probably reference it. Okay, we're good here. Just meanwhile we are doing, are they both working? Okay, so yeah, we allow the edits. What's another thing that I noticed about Cloud? Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but skip dangerous permission, which is the way to do the same thing you would do in Cursor. You usually say run everything, or the YOLO mode as they call it. I don't know, sometimes really doesn't work for me in Claude. I feel like I need to sudo it or something. So, let's see. So we have the plan. Let's make sure that the stream is still running here. Oh, my computer is running out of battery, so not this computer but the other one. I want to make sure I don't lose contact. Give me a second. It's a real stream. Go. Took a second. You guys see me still in focus? Perfect. Okay. Yeah, seems that the camera works. It seems correct to me. Let's see, like, check. Cool. Yes. Time for a break. Okay, so we have the Claude MD. We are really ready to go into this Vibe Code Final Boss tutorial. Now we have the Claude MD, and all we have to do to Claude, all we have to say to Claude is say, hey, like, I have this plan and I want to run this specific framework on Claude. So you will need to create agents and so on and so on. So let's try to formulate quite a short prompt because we have all of our plan MD is done. So there is no need to go crazy. Okay, so aware. Okay, so you are in this mode. And let me return this way. There you go. I started you with the what is it? Teammate. What is it called? I think teammate. Agent teams. Okay. I started with the agent teams comment. I want you to, based on this plan, and we're gonna just like do the same thing we were doing in cursor. We're just gonna go in our project and we're just gonna drag and drop our plan. So there you go. Based on this plan, you will need to build the necessary agents or let's see, they have sub agents, they have teammates, architecture, team lead, teammates, task list, mailbox. And then I don't know if this in this flow you're going to, if it's overlappable with rules, but I assume it is. There's nothing. Okay, well, I don't know. Let's see. You will need to build the necessary agents for accomplishing the task that is included in my plan. I also would like to create some cloud rules for best practices. For example, I want you to work only in this folder, and we can just like specify what folder is, and I just put it here because this is going to be our project, right? And I don't want to mess around with everything that is in there, so we're just gonna create a new folder. Just gonna go ahead in new folder. It's gonna say web, actually Snap Cloud interactive web experience. These names are very long, but I love to have good practices because just imagine you're gonna collaborate with people on this. And also really to keep the AI more up to date, because the AI is going to have a hard time understanding you if you don't give right names. So we are always very disciplined in having this project directory that is really, really understandable. And this also works for developers that have a very, very small understanding of our ecosystem. They just know what's going on. It's not confusing. It's very modular. Try to keep like features in one script. Do not connect too many scripts together. I feel like all of these are really best practices that we try to enforce. And now with AI, of course, it's a lot easier because there are all of these rules. So what I was doing, okay, in this folder. So this is the folder I wanted to do. This is the empty one, yes. Okay. And then I started with you in the agent.com. I want you to, based on this plan, you will need to build a necessary agent for accomplishing the tasks, including my plan. I also like to create some code rules for best practice. For example, I want you to work on in this folder. I don't want to have too many emoji, not emoji at all. I don't want verbose readme. I expect to see the terminal splitting during the work session as I started the team agent with iterm and tmux. Okay, please do not modify anything else outside the folder, and ask questions if anything is not clear. Alright, so this seems pretty solid. I'm pretty sure that maybe something's gonna go wrong, but seems like a solid start. So okay, let's go and see what Cloud Code is up to. So we enter, just to also hello Badr Tej. Sorry if I mispronounce, but very happy to have you here in the stream. What are we doing here? So we are using this new very fresh feature that Cloud Code released, which basically allow us to have an agent team. It's called experimental agent teams. With these agent teams plugin, we are able to have multiple agents doing what we need. And now we created a plan, and then we provided that plan, there's a simple markdown to Claude. So there are some questions. Before I stop the team, I have a few questions. Web service location. The plan calls for our web service folder workspace root. That's outside online shared experience. Should the web service also go inside that folder? Okay, so the number one, we say number one, yes, it should be outside. It should be a root, as it is a different project. Is a website. Okay, so we have this figured out. Folder structure, say within Snap Cloud Interactive Web Exterior, the plan originally puts the land side script in asset script. Should I put it in script instead? Scene configuration prefab reference also live under this folder. To yes, you want to have them in that folder. And I have a feeling you will only need to write script. Oh, I was forgetting about something very important. Well, we can also include it in this prompt. Let's see if it's pick it up. Okay. Then let's go with number 3. Existing streaming controllers. The plan reference is script. Should I copy the needed, or everything is self-contained? So once again, everything is self-contained. Do not modify anything. Create new scripts and learn from the existing one. It's another very good practice. Which streaming mode? The plan lists 3 options: video only, audio only, or composite, video or audio. Which one do you want to implement? I would say for now, let's go with video only. Video, I would say actually video only, but composite image. So what does this mean? And very good question actually, because there is a main difference between there is a difference between having a composite image and not a composite image. Let's take a look at Lens Studio for a second. So this example is split in 2 ways. Every time that you go here, you go and you see this composite recording, composite stream, or for example, you go in image and you see capture frame. Once again, we try to keep things super easy for everyone, and also for us, because we need to maintain all of this stuff, right? And you go in here and you go into our media suite. You go in image, you go in image capture uploader. Here we go. Look at this. Bool says use composite texture. What is the composite texture? Composite texture is a texture that includes the virtual content together with the background. So very important, very different. Not just the background, we are also including the virtual content that we see. So in my stream, you will be able to see literally this interface and on everything that you spawn with the buttons. So I want to make that difference. And if you are curious how to do that, you can just go on our asset library. And once again, I take the chance to show off all of our resources. We have a lot of stuff in here, which is very much modular and allows you to do things separately if you are interested. For example, if you go in here, you will find the composite camera texture. And look at this best practice in action here. I put it out of the packages and I call it modified. This is something that we recommend always when you do stuff like this. This composite camera texture allows you to have not just the virtual background, but also the virtual content. So next level. No? Okay, that was the detail. With video only but composite image, create new script and learn from the existing one. Yeah, but we don't video only with composite image. Okay, that makes sense to me. Then prefab object. The plan mentions spawnable prefabs. Do we already have prefab in asset? Yes, I actually want to download some asset from the asset library. So I actually want to download assets from the asset library. So only provide, please, an array of prefab objects, and I will assign them manually in the inspector. Okay, we answered all of the question. Now there is something new that I want to mention, and is we might need to add something to our plan, and with so our agent team. Lens Studio has MCP server, which I just started to spin in my project. So how to do this? Look at this. Look what I do. Let's go here in AI Assistant, configure server. You're gonna start a server locally. This is gonna start the local server for your MCP. MCP, if you're not familiar with the term, is a library of tools that allow you to do certain things and kind of like provides a very common language and point of entry for the AI. So now we are in a moment where these MCP things, in my opinion, are reaching a moment of before they were used for everything, and now instead I think it gets taken in consideration only for very specific things. Why here it makes a lot of sense? It makes a lot of sense because what these tools are doing are letting the AI understand how to use the editor API of Lens Studio and do things like not just creating code, but creating scene object, moving things. So you literally can just type and see things happening in the Lens Studio. However, I have to say this is still in development, so it's not perfect most of the time. It's gonna be probably very soon, but the way I use this MCP server, which seems very effective so far, is to only use a series of tools which are the get tools. So for example, to make an example, like if you get the logs of your project, you don't need to copy paste the logs like you would do, for example, in ChatGPT, when you have to say, oh my gosh, I tried something, it didn't work, I'm gonna paste it back in here. Instead, like that loop, the more automatic it is, the least you have to, of course, participate to the loop. And also the AI gets a lot more context. So the get tools are, for example, get scene graph, or get logs, or get, like assets in the asset library, and so on and so on. Let's see what's going on here. All good? Yeah, it seems everything good. Okay, so I want to say that to Claude, that is something that I forgot before, that we will need to set up the MCP. But for Claude specifically, actually, we need some documentation, which I'm going to retrieve from another place. This is going to be public very soon, so it's nothing crazy, but I'm just going to provide to Claude with the right context for it. Let me see, context developed with I think it's here. I'm coming back. Don't worry. All right, so I'm gonna reference, so you see what I'm doing. We might need to add something to our plan. We saw our agent team. Lens Studio has an MCP server which is just started to spin in my project, and you can find more information here. So this is the documentation for it. So this is our context folder that we are using before. So where is it? It's here. Context. This is very precious information for the AI, and we just make sure that we drag and drop our developing Cloud with Lens Studio AI. This will be available publicly very soon. So forgive me if it's not in public yet. It will be a series of days for real. As an MCP server, which has just started to spin in my project, and you can find more information here. I expect to only use the get tools, and because I want to inform agents regarding logs and other information on my project. Please stay far. Do not disable any create and modify tools. There is also one tool which is very interesting, and is the query lens tools, which is basically an endpoint into something online that will give you knowledge about the development with Lens Studio and Spectacles, or just generally Lens Studio. So I actually like that endpoint. I like that MCP tool, so I'm going to keep it and say, please keep the query RAG tool. And this is all public information, by the way. I'm talking like a crazy person, but if you just go into our documentation, I'm just going to show you context. Actually, let's go in here. Context, snap. Yes, let's go in here. So if you go in here and you go in our where is it? Developers, sorry. We go in Lens Studio, and this is, I'm just saying for people that may be connected a little later. If you go in documentation and then you go into Lens Studio AI, there is everything I'm saying is all in here. So don't get crazy. It's not something that I'll say just in this tutorial, and then this streaming will be also available. So okay, so making sure that everything works, making sure that there is no one in the chat that needs help. And then please keep the query rag tool too. That is a nice tool for gathering additional knowledge, similarly to the context static repo. Okay, so let's see how it goes. I really expect to see all of the creation of agents, and I really expect to see the subdivision of work when they start. Okay, so not available in this context. Check configure. Do you want to proceed? Sure. Let's take a look. I don't see Lens Studio in your list. Looks like it would be before I set up the team. Two things: you'll need to start MCP PC server. Copy and config and run this. Can you do that? Oh, I think he found it. Okay. So it says to do this. So I'm gonna listen to that. Let's see. This is a local MCP. So let's go and say something like, let's do it literally what he said. Let's go in here, and then the bear token, I'm gonna do it in this screen, but nothing secret because it's, once again, it's local. Let's go in here and wet. Okay. AI assistant. All right, configure server, copy MCP com. I'm gonna go in here and just authorize that token. Let's see. Okay. Sure, seems safe. But let me also do this on the other side. So let me paste these into notes or text edit. Sure, new document. This is the token. Nice. And we're gonna have it here. Yes. Yes, address this folder. Please add this MCP. I'm literally adding an MCP like that because I'm having an error in that command that is being recommended. So you know what? I'm just gonna do it this way. Just open another instance to cloud. I'm using cloud in this folder. And I also wanted to show you the tools. So I think that was actually another cool thing that I want to do. Okay. Workspace boundaries. Yes, that seems to be a good rule. I'm just gonna show you this here too. This is adding the configuration. So I'm just doing what Claude said. Let's see if we are still in chat with everything. Always making sure. Okay. You want to proceed. So a rule is being created. Cloud updated. Remaining blocker. No studio isn't connected yet. There is a Lens agent, a web agent, and research agent. Okay. Yes, I want to do that. Continue with the agents. I'm connecting the MCP manually. Alright, so this has been added. Next time you start Cloud Code in that folder, it will detect the server and prompt you to approve it. Okay, so another thing that I want to mention is that there is a cool command which is basically cloud.c, and that will continue the previous session. So that's something I actually saw before somewhere. Make sure I find it because actually it was very helpful. Oh, too many. Okay. Too many pages open. Okay, yeah, it's cloud.c, cloud.c, -c. So this says that is added. Perfect. Boom. And now this one is actually going. Oh, there you go. It's actually starting the agents. Now creating the tasks. Let's see if it goes directly with the agents. I will stop it otherwise. Team created, now creating the task. Okay, I want to make sure that we have the MCP before to just go ahead. Let's actually exit this. Do cloud C. Actually, no. Let's do this one that we had before. I assume we can do the same thing. Okay. Continue with the task, but make sure we also connected the MCP. Actually, I think that we can, I think we can do MCP like this. I don't see Lens Studio. Before to continue, let me make sure that MCP Lens Studio is set. Let's go Lens Studio. This is actually starting, so this is running correctly. Close. AI system, configure server. This is going. The Lens Studio is not connected. Only see the Google Calendar. In Lens Studio, configure star server, copy MCP to get the URL. I did that already. Let's see. Please do it. Then I will restart. Okay. You can restart the session. Please continue with the agent team. Let's see. Doctor for details. MCP is connected. Okay. I also want to make sure. Get back, you guys. Do this, and I want to say. Okay. Make sure that MCP is connected, and that make sure that MCP is connected and that is only set up. It's only enable the get tools and the query tool, and then go ahead with the agent tasks. Okay. Lens Studio, yes. Do you want to proceed? Yep, it actually sees it. Yes, but why you show me only one? I can see the scene graph with the camera object. Okay, so we have. Okay, amazing. So I did a test. All right. Nice. So you saw how much time we spent in setting things up, and now you'll be surprised when you will see multiple agents working on your project. I think it's worth to really going through this setup and then letting the AI do the thing instead of trying to do the thing gradually, step by step. But then, of course, you want to be at the lead of this team, right? You want to understand what you're doing. So architecturally, you need to have a plan. I feel like that's a very good place to start from. And if you're not sure about that plan, let the AI review it multiple times, always providing the right context. So I feel like that's really a good strategy. Right, so you notice that now what is happening here dynamically is that my terminal gets split automatically in multiple views. And we have our Lens agent, we have our web agent, and we have our research agent. Which kind of makes sense as an architecture because we have a project which is on the web. We have a project that is on Lens Studio, and then we probably need like a person that gathers information. Not sure about that doctor issue. Not sure I want to interrupt workflow. I will do it later. And if you're scared about the terminal, I literally did not write one line of code now. So don't be scared. This is just a way to do things. And probably it's gonna arrive soon also in a UI format. I know you can do this stuff already on the phone, so I wouldn't be surprised to see. I wouldn't be surprised to know that there are things that are already doing this in a way more digestible way. Way more digestible way. Let me just make sure it's all good with the stream. Making sure that everything is working. Oh, we have another one. Web agent, oh, there's another web agent. So multiple people in the web team. Oh, look at this. Huh. Okay, so all three agents are spawned and running. We have our MCP knowledge hooked up to our system. We have our context, we have our project, and we lock down the location where things need to happen. So everything is in here. So we have Claude. As you can see, there are rules, settings, local, context. We have our rules here. We don't have sub agents here because this is a new way to do things. I don't think it's writing them here. He's doing it on the fly. Then we have our context repo, and then we have our project. So this is really like, you know, modern development tools. Oh yes, oh good. Okay, perfect. So we are good on that end. This might take a while. All the agents spawn and running. Teammates running. Okay. Oh, you can also see what they're doing. Okay. That's nice. Reading all the requested files. Okay. So here it just like gives you a little bit of a bullet point task. So the searching, then there is a composite stream controller to get it from this sample. So it's kind of getting a lot of stuff from the existing sample. Then I would recommend to just don't really use Lens Studio in this moment because it's writing like files inside of your directory. Have you guys ever used this before? Like if you are in the chat and you're still there, and you ever seen this thing? Like using your own team of agents? I assume you did. Yeah. Okay, say you want to proceed. Let's go ahead. Okay. Yes, allow. First time seeing it. Yes. For me, it's the second time using it, so we're very close. I literally saw it yesterday and was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Research agent is shut down. 2 agents still working on the Lens Studio script. I think it's cool because at least in my previous attempt, kind of gives you like, okay, I just set this up. Do you want to test? And I'm like, okay, let's try it. You know. Okay, so let's see. There's nothing going on here. No answer, no questions. Usually are always in the main. Do you want to create composite? Of course. As you can see, if you want to be in the loop, you still can be, because there are a lot of permission that you need to give. But you can also do something called Claude skip dangerous permission, and then it's going to be like just running in YOLO mode basically. Research is shut down. 2 agents still working. Let's stage it on the Lens Studio Script web agent on the next monitoring for updates. Okay, so we have a lead here, which is just giving me some updates. And here we have all the sub agents doing their own thing. Let's see. What does it say? Do you want to proceed? Is this npm installed? Yes, because it's a web service. Something I want to mention here is that if you notice, you might think as a designer or a design engineer that because everything is more like on the code side of things, things are becoming actually harder than easier. But this is the exact opposite. The main difference is that now all of the code needs to be written in a way, all of the software needs to be in a way that is more understandable from the AI perspective, which means that there is a huge shift toward ways to work that way to work that prevent you to have things like, you know, an inspector reference. Inspector reference is actually, you know, something that the MCP can handle because it's very knowledgeable about that task. But if you have those references all in your code base, for the AI, it's not no-brainer understanding what to do because everything is in there. So I feel like it really comes down to just the way the AI is built for now, and because there is a lot of, you know, project and code base that relies entirely on code base. And then, for example, when you make like a website, you don't see the website until you run, you know, some comments. And so that's the way really that the AI probably is the strongest at. So the more we work with the AI, the better our outcome will be in this case, and the bigger code base we can handle and lead. Okay, we see all good. Okay. Right. Nice. Double check. Everything is okay. Okay, ready for you to wire the inspector inputs in Studio and test. Okay, so you see, like, this is something that the MCP could come handy in doing. I think we're not there yet, I would say, but we're very close to that. So this is usually how I handle things. I just prefer like to get it right and just use the tools that are the most helpful. So first of all, let's see, there is actually a compilation failed error in this case, meaning that some MCP tools didn't kick in, but no worries, we can do this. We can just show the logger and we can just get whatever is wrong here. Let's make sure that we clear it so we actually see what's the main error. It's not a lot. Camera service, okay, this seems more of an import issue than anything else, so we can just like do this. Let's fix this first. That MCP didn't kick in. I really wanted to get the logs for this specific reason. I'm pretty sure that if I stay there and I really make sure, maybe I have another agent which is focusing on this logging loop. Maybe that's something I should do. So you see, like, you learn also these things, like you learn also these things, and it's more of an architectural choice than really like doing something right or wrong. Like I was like it definitely read the scene hierarchy. So why didn't get like why did not get that? Actually here, let's see. So this should have worked also. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so the scripts are made. You want to make these edits? Sure. He generalized it instead of giving the type. Theoretically should work, but it should also work with the type, so why not? Let's see. Some agent's still going. Okay. Notice something cool about Supabase is that this plugin that we have in Lens Studio for Supabase is just really a bridge toward a normal Supabase account. So this project here, this yellow icon that I'm not going to click on, otherwise it's going to reveal on the inspector side of things my Supabase link and Supabase project, which are the tokens that you need to log into the service. This is the same, so it's the same for a web service. So what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna move this window away later, I'm just gonna create an env file, which is an environment files, and then I'm just gonna put those variables in there. So it's gonna be the same thing. Okay, both scripts are now fully self-contained with 0 imports. Okay. Should I believe it? Let's see. All right, so let's make sure that this stuff is off for now. You need a streamer mode like in Discord to hide creds. Oh, what is that? I'm curious. Streamer mode. Does it do it automatically? Like it really hides all of the credential and stuff like that? I never used it before. Let's drag and drop in stuff. This one wants the requirements, which are here. Let's keep it on. And then we have the channel name, which is this. Stream quality. Okay. Camera service object, I believe, is in here. So it actually referenced something that is already in the scene. Composite texture is also here. So this is the image that create the composite texture, and if you select it, you can go in here and just drag and drop it. Then it says stream button, so it wants to have a button actually to start streaming. Interesting. And then you want to have a status text this time. Sure, we can do that. So we can also do something cute with the UI kit. UI kit is very easy to use. Honestly, I think you could use it. You could vibe code something from the stream, but what I recommend to do is literally just use components that are here. Or if you want to just like rebuild a full new UI, what I actually recommend you to use is this package, which is called Fast UI. And this package, I'm just gonna take the chance to show a little bit. This package allows you to create UI very quickly because it's really acting like a context folder. He has some examples, but as long as the AI know about this package, you can also unpack it and just leave it as a context. The AI is going to be able to really create like a whole configuration UI. So just me just putting it there. Okay, so we need a stream button. What we can do real quick is creating an empty scene object and then call it just creating a frame, which is here, and we uncheck the auto show hide, so this will show up in front of us. Let's see if we are at the center. Are we? Okay. We can also make it a little smaller, so we have it like not in the way. And then maybe we put it a little bit more down, so -20, something like that. And then we also billboard on the follow behavior. So we have the built-in follow behavior. You should be able to follow us constantly. So, and then we can just like create another scene object under it and just create a rectangle button. There you go. We can also create a text under here, which is start streaming. And this one can be a little longer, so 10. This one can be on different layers. This one can be a little higher. And then I think it also mentioned a status text in that utility. So we can put it here, call it status text. Fast UI works with Spectacles UI Kit. Yes, it's actually made out of Spectacles UI Kit. I want to show you actually for a second. Text. No. This is the frame. And we're gonna have the stream button, status text. Status text is actually this guy. Composite stream controller. Let's see what else. Web spawn controller. This one is again my requirements. Spawn parent. You can just create like a scene here. But I think I will change some things. And then the camera object is here. So it says the full spawn distance 80, max spawn distance 10. Object lifetime 30 seconds. Okay, I like this. So a little bit of things that we need to change here. Let's make sure that we can see all of it. So what I want to change, I want to change a little bit of things. I want to change the fact that I want to change, please for the stream button, use a rectangle button from UI Kit. And meanwhile it's doing that, I'm going to show you also the fast UI, which is something we put together quite recently. Please for the stream button, use a rectangle button from UI Kit. If you do not know what that is, UI Kit is already imported in the packages. Do not mess around with that, but you can always take a look at our contents folder, and then you can actually drag and make it easier for the AI to just really understand where is what. So here we have frameworks and UI Kit, so I'm gonna just literally drag this guy. Then please start the stream is from UI Kit. If you don't know what it is, your key is already imported in the package. Don't mess around with that. Then something I want to do is that no need for me to edit the channel name. Just use the same across both services. So that's stuff in the inspector. Let's see. Another thing that maybe the AI doesn't know is that the forward direction is negative in Freelance Studio. So minus 100. So this position 0, 0, minus 100 will be in front of me and not on in my back, at my back. Another thing, let's see, spawn parent is fine, prefabs is fine, that is good. I think that's it for now. I think that's okay. Yes. So the fast UI is actually pretty cool when it fixes and compiles. I'm going to show you. But if we go in here and we just import it, there's a bunch of new stuff that we released recently. We did like a quite big update. All right, so fast UI is imported. It's gonna import also sub packages because we actually have new dependencies to avoid repetition. I think this is imported because it's a different version, so let's actually delete this guy because we don't need it. And okay, it's compiling. So whenever you import these new packages, they should pop up just like this. And you notice that there is some instruction, and these are just examples of, you know, like cards. We have like grades here, and we have also like a cool chat to just go up and down and just do like your own chats. This is just an example, but the cool fact about this UI is that it's all in one script. So for example, the fast grid, that's all it has. And let's say that you want to create new UI, you will reference this as a context. The AI will understand it a lot better. Actually, we're putting a lot more material like this out because we really have in the back of our mind the fact that the more information the AI has available, the fast you go, because you can create not just a button but literally like a full configuration of UIs. So this is just a side quest, but cool. Okay, frame, composite string controller. This is empty. Oh, this is the parent. I don't think we need the parent though. Just wanna, let's see. Okay, this is the status text. We want to put it down a little bit. Okay, it says ready to stream. See what it says. Distance on Z is already correct. Now TZ forward, perfect. All three fixes applied. Cool. Let's see. So it says rectangle button, so we have it. Here you go. And then the prefabs, right? So let's choose our prefabs. Let's give it like a name. Let's download some random assets. So let's go in 3D. And we download this guy, classic, and these three friends. Right, let's drop it into our project folder here, just to keep things clean. Let's actually create a new folder. Let's call it models. And let's move stuff in there. Boom. Okay, so we are set on that. We have our UI. In our manager, we have these assets. So one, this guy is this guy, and this guy is this guy. Then let's call it KT. Let's call it red panda. And let's call it Green Fox. Cool. Not sure why we need a parent. I'm a little suspicious of that. So So I'm gonna ask the AI why that's the case. Why do we need parent for the instantiated object? Can you just generally instantiate it them in world pause, like in world position in front of me? There is something that maybe can help you understanding about instantiation and solvers spatial behavior in our context folder. If that does not make any difference and you just did it for keeping order in the scene hierarchy, that's fine too. I wonder if that is instantiating in world position or like in local position of that weird parent, so I just want to make sure. But I think we're almost there. So one thing we will need to do, let's check out our repository, our directory, and see if there is the new web project. Okay. So let's take a look in here, and we actually see that there is a web service. There you go. So we have this web service, which is our portal. I assume that we will need to launch it with npm run dev, something like that. We will need to create an environment file where we add the credential. If you're not familiar with that, I think that probably there is a let's see, context, online shared experience, web service. There's probably like an environment example. I don't see it, so I'm gonna ask also about that. But I'm gonna just create it and add my credential in there in my other screen. I can just ask cursor to do that, or I can simply do torch. So I don't know if you guys know this command, but it's like I can literally show you how to create end file. Command line. Oh, touch. Sorry, not touch. Of course. This is what you will need to do, and that will create like a environment file where you can add your own things. But because I want to get right the name of those variables, which will need to go also on the service we deploy in this service, which I think could be Vercel. Let's go back to Claude. Sure. Oh, look at this. We used MCP for this question. Invalid access token for the rack system. Huh. Well, didn't expect that. That should work actually. We'll take a look. Still running. Weird. Okay, it's a required parameter. Okay. It's not optional. That says that's in just for the scene hierarchy. Perfect. Okay. So we know about that. That's okay. So we're all set. The last thing I want to say is that can you create an end example for the web service? So I can create myself an file. So env environment variables. Those are the tokens that will allow you to use your service. when that is created, you can just copy this and add your own credential. So let me just do that now. I'm gonna go into CD and then just go in the web service. I'm gonna do touch env. Where was the page that I shared? This guy. Then it creates it. I'm gonna copy paste. Of course, you're not seeing this. And then I'm gonna get my variables. Project URL. And then I'm gonna get the public token. Boom. And we are set also for that. We can delete then the example. Now we will need to re-enter this probably later in the Vercel UI when we deploy. Okay, so seems like we're all set in there. Let's take a look and let's take a look at this. Just a moment, I have so many panels. And Studio. Let's go back in here, and seems like we are set to go. Everything is set. We can start the streaming, and this should be also working in the inspector, by the way. Let's see if we experience some anomalies. So just to make sure 100%, we can ask, just tell me how to run my web service, and path. I will do that myself. I assume it's cd web service npm run dev, but let's always ask. There you go, confirm. So we can just open a new shell and paste. Oh, because we're not in the right folder. So let's go in here. Boom. Paste. This is running. Okay. Is in localhost. Use system browser. Okay, I see it opening on the other screen that I have. It shows the Supabase URL and a known key. So I definitely want to have a way to hide them. Please do not show Supabase URL and anonymous key on the web portal. You literally have access to it. Just use M5. And let me put this down because I don't want to show that stuff. Let me check if OBS is working. Okay, all good, all good. Seems like the stream is going smooth. All in the norm. Let's take a look at this. 1 second. Let's close it. Okay, it's doing the thing, it's doing the thing. Transmuting. Done, it says. The Supabase URL and now anonymous keys are now read exclusively from the environment local. Okay, so let's do this again. Let's see how does it look like. Web service. Oh, we can just do npm on that. All right. Use system browser. So much better. Nice. Okay, let's connect. It says connected. Start streaming. All right. So I want to show you what's happening here. I see my spectacle stream viewer, and then I see here everything, and then I have the cube, the sphere, and the cylinder. This is actually outdated because this is something that this is not the prefab I had. So let's see if there is any cylinder that is spawning here, but it's definitely not my prefab. So here's what to do. You can take a screenshot and say, yo, look at this. Didn't take any time. I believe this is not up to date, as in my Lens Studio inspector I have an array of 3D models, an array of prefab I manually added. Okay, but at least we know it's streaming, so cool, we got somewhere. Yes, exactly. He understood perfectly. So if we see the background here, we can also probably see I'm almost certain that this is going to work on the glasses, because the Superbase Cloud example template does that already, so I'm pretty confident. Sure. Center is too large. Let me search for scene object has web spawn controller. Yeah, exactly. Okay, now it used again the MCP. Huh. So it is using the MCP. Okay, so now we have all of those. It matched it for us. Oh, already updated. Let's see if it works directly. We are here streaming live, so I expect to instantiate something in front of me. Oh, we got it. There you go. Amazing. Okay, let's try them all.